Welcome to the Real Agents Podcast, a podcast where where I should pay attention to what I'm supposed to say. Basically, it's where if you like your insights and your advice shaken and not stirred, well, then this is the right podcast for you. I'm Eric Harrington, and that's Crystal Davis, and we are Real Agents. Hey, Crystal, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. I'm excited to be on the podcast finally.
You should be. This is an honor, especially when you get to see me screw up the intro. Yeah, I've only been doing this now for what, almost 30 episodes? No, it can't be that many. Anyway, it feels like 30 episodes. Anyway, Crystal, let me just welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We are going to introduce you here in a second, but I just have to say there's someone missing. There's no Nicole here today, and
I know.
she is heartbroken that she can't be a part of this podcast and have a chance to chat with you. But she is being a wonderful mother, and by all means, we totally understand that. And Nicole, yes, you know what, my fingers don't work that way, so sorry, Nicole, but we are thinking of you. And she sent some really deep questions.
Ooh.
But they're in a zip file, and I don't know how to open a zip file.
Oh, goodness.
All right. So, Crystal Davis. Now, I made the mistake when we were talking, and I called you our lead ISA because today's topic is what's up with ISAs? Who are ISAs and what do they do? And I said, and we were talking about it with Mr. Producer over there, and I said, so I'm going to introduce you as the lead ISA, and you stopped me, and you said your title, and please share with the world what your title is.
Yes. So ISA is obviously very common in the real estate world. So if you say ISA, most agents and people connected will know what that means. It's an inside sales agent. But on our team, we are actually client care coordinators. Okay, we really care about our clients. That's what I tell people. We really care. So I'm actually the lead client care coordinator. It's a mouthful, but
it makes perfect sense though. It makes perfect sense. All right, so not getting too far down the road here, just please share who is Crystal Davis? Who are you? When did you join our team? Why did you join our team? Please share with everyone a little bit about you.
Okay, sure. So I'm originally from Ohio. So coming to Virginia was a work-related transition for me. I used to be in property management over a decade. With COVID, you know how COVID, we all were like,
no one paid their rent during COVID. What are you talking about?
Of course. Yes. No, they weren't. And it just makes you think a lot about like your choices. That's also the time I cut my hair. You see this little
nice. Oh, it looks, your hair's on fleek. Can we say that anymore? No, I don't think so.
No, we don't say on fleek.
It looks good. All right. Your hair looks good. You got your hair did.
But I made a couple changes, and one of those was just finding a new job, leaving a company I was with for almost 7 years. Really trying to find something that was more exciting, that I could really grow. And I was actually applying at like 3:00 in the morning, came across the post and I applied. I didn't know that it was in Northern Virginia. That was new. So when I applied, I was living in Virginia Beach. And they were looking for someone local, but we had to interview, I really jazzed them up. So they were like, maybe you could do the remote thing. And that's kind of how I got with DBA.
It's funny. From the moment I met you, I think we had a little get together, like little lunch when you started and came on board. And it was evident right from the get-go that you brought a different level of energy to just everything. I mean, it was like turned up to 11 right out the gate, and it was a positive energy. Some people, their energy is just like it's scatterbrained and all over the place, but no, your energy was just all about positivity, and about getting it done, and about joy. I mean, your smile is evident. I mean, look at that. Your smile is fantastic.
I'm a very smiley person, yes.
Yeah, and it comes across on the phone, and I think that has a lot to do with being a successful client care coordinator, right? I mean, you've got to have that ability to talk to someone and just get them right away to buy into what you're saying, right? I mean, and that's I don't know if that's 50% natural, 30% learned, and 20% practiced, or is it 100% natural? What do you think?
Um, well, for me, it's just a part of my personality. I mean, when I was
Yeah.
like 4 years old, I was running around smiling at everybody. So I definitely think that, it's just been a part of my life. It's who I am. But in this industry, I think that we find a lot of people that kind of bring that energy and bring that excitement. And I do think a lot of it is very natural.
So
And when
what
it's not, you can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell when it's forced, like, and you could smell desperation and hear desperation.
Right.
But yeah, every time I talk to you, you can. I, it sounds like you never have a bad day. Now I know that's not possible. I know it's not possible. But yeah, you're always all about that positivity, and
Yes.
kudos to you because not
It's
too many
really
people can
about,
do that.
moving forward, and I think that that is a big part of the success in the role as well. I mean, we can get more into the fact that it is more of a remote position. We're on the phone, for the majority of our role, and, the positivity, you have to be there, and you have to obviously be yourself, but you're going to run into obstacles, and you can't let that really deter you from moving
Yeah,
forward and picking up
yeah.
the phone and helping the next client. So when you learn to just kind of keep moving forward, that's how you live your life.
Yeah, you have to be really thick-skinned too, right? Because a
Yes.
lot of it is rejection. I
Yes,
mean,
yes. You get hit
sales
the
in
phone.
itself is about rejection, but especially when you're working that phone,
Right,
there's a
right.
lot of just clicks and what are you doing? Why are you bothering
Yeah.
me? Yeah,
Which is really interesting because we work with clients that actually register for the most part to our website. They
okay.
register asking questions on like the softwares that we use. They're not like
So
we're
they're
not
warm
cold
leads.
calling.
They're warm leads. Yeah,
Exactly. We're
yeah.
not exactly cold calling,
Mhm.
just, hey, we have a house here and you're a neighbor to it. So, we'd get the rejection, but we're like, you registered, like you asked this question,
So
like
you push back a little? I
you
like it.
asked
I
for
like
help.
it. I like it. We're not gonna just let you get away with being rude. Come on. You asked for this.
Yeah.
All right. So then you bring up an interesting point here. What is the day to day? How do you start your day as client care coordinator? And what is the difference? Is it solely I called you an ISA, you corrected me, I get it. Is there a difference, or is it
It's the same thing.
it's the same
It's
thing?
just
All right.
commonly known as
Yeah.
ISA
All right.
in
All right.
the, like I said, in the industry,
One is the
but
industry vernacular, and the other one is
it's just a
yeah.
fancy little title for the people.
Well, I like client care coordinator, by the way.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I don't mind either one, but yeah, they're the same.
CCC. You're the CCC. I like that.
Exactly.
That's better than ISA. All right. So talk to me about the day to day. What do you do when you show up? How does your day start?
So once we log into our software and kind of get the updates, we are already rolling into people that registered either the night before or, depending on the shift that you have, because we do work from 8 to 8. So we obviously have different shifts. But we are contacting the people that recently registered. They're looking in the area, they're looking at homes selling in the area, and we are basically reaching out to see how we can help. We are the
Wow.
connectors. I'll call us the plug. That's very
Yeah.
trendy
Yeah. Yeah.
because we connect them and plug them to, lenders or listing agents, buyer agents, contractors. I mean, whatever that they need,
Yeah.
we're there to provide a service. And sometimes they just want to talk to us and we listen and we just build those connections as well.
It's such an invaluable resource to the salesman, saleswoman on the ground, to that those folks that are out there trying to maximize their day-to-day work time. The ISAs, the client care coordinators, take such a big chunk off the plate so we can do other things, so we can focus on the meeting, so we
Of
could
course.
focus on the presentation as opposed to setting the appointment.
Right.
Setting an appointment is still a huge part of being a salesperson. You need that arrow in your in your quill. Is it? What am I trying to say? You need that ability. But when you've got a quality ISA team, it just takes you to that next level.
Of
And
course.
I really do think that our ISA team is a big part of the success of DDA. And that's all kudos to you and your team. Um,
Thank you. We
how
worked
many
really hard.
people do you currently have, and what's an ideal number for
You
an
said,
ISA
I'm
team?
sorry, what was the question?
How many ISAs do you have on your team right now, and what's an ideal number?
Yeah, so right now we're operating with three of us, including myself, and then
Yeah.
we have one VA that also jumps in and helps us sometimes.
Okay,
Um,
VA.
mhm.
What's a VA?
Oh, a virtual assistant.
All right. People
We
need to
have a
know.
virtual
They don't
assistant,
know.
and
All right,
she is amazing. She jumps in and helps us from time to time, so we're
that's
really
awesome.
lucky to have her. I think at the largest we were a team of 5 or 6. So
Okay.
we definitely have made a few adjustments, and for the good, our numbers are doing amazing right now. We have
Wow,
exceeded our goal for quarter 3. We are already rocking out this month.
that's
We,
awesome.
I think we have about 35 appointments set already for this month, which is
Wow.
pretty good, especially for October. So I'm super proud of the team that we have.
That's phenomenal because listings are down across the board. And if you're pumping out numbers like that, that's commendable. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The
So what's the toughest part, of this whole process? Is it, the working those warm leads? Is it the phone calls? Is it the follow-up? What's the hardest part of the whole thing?
mm, Probably just making sure that you stay organized, and if you are organized in the beginning, it's not going to be that much of a challenge.
Yeah.
But if you kind of let it slip away with any job, if you let your admin work kind of slip away, it can pile up, and it can be a little challenging to stay organized and also be able to be first in line to help people and quickly. You know what I mean? So there's
Yeah.
people that we want to follow up with, and sometimes it's just not enough time.
Yeah.
But we prioritize following up and keeping up with those people first, and then the admin kind of falls, is what I'm saying.
Is it more fulfilling to just set the appointments? I think I know the answer to this. Or is it more fulfilling when you hear the successful conclusion? Is it more about I made all these appointments
Mhm.
and is it about the quantity or is it about the quality? Is I guess what I'm
Definitely the
getting to.
quality.
It
For
is, isn't
sure, the
it?
quality.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I first started as an ISA client care coordinator, I was all about trying to get the best numbers. I'm like, I want to set the most appointments, most
Yeah.
appointments. And I quickly learned that, not all of the appointments are successful. And it's really about the quality, and those go
Yeah.
to the settlement. And that's, what you really are looking for is to build a connection strong enough, connect them to the right people, the right agents, so that that is a successful transaction and turns into a settlement.
And not always is it about the settlement, is it? It's about the connection too.
Of
I mean, it's
course.
just the quality connection.
Right.
And you shared a story at one of
Mhm.
our meetings recently.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah, I love this story. There was a client when I first started as a client care coordinator.
And this was like
I
2
was
years ago, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
2
yeah,
years,
2 years
almost
ago.
3 years ago,
Almost
almost
3
3,
years ago.
yeah,
This
about 2 and a
okay.
half.
All right.
And when I hit the ground running, I was setting listing appointments left and right. I thought I was that girl, okay? But I ran
You
into
were, but anyway. Yeah.
I ran into this lady, and she really just stopped me in my tracks, to be honest, because I didn't at that time deal with anyone like that over the phone. Coming from property management, you meet a variety of people in
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
but over the phone, she gave me a run for my money. She told me about how much more experienced she was than me, than anyone on our team, how she was
Of
the
course.
best of the
Yes.
best. and we couldn't do anything for her. For the past, year and a half, 2 years, she has constantly like either reached out to me or I reached out to her. We obviously continue to build a relationship,
That's
even
cool.
though most of the conversation was of rejection. I still I'm like, you know what? You're gonna like me one day. I'm gonna keep calling you. You're gonna like me. So I reached out to her again recently, and this was after I sent one of our agents over there. And I just have to give a shout out to Nathan because he is such a trooper. I don't know what it is about our
Nathan Arnold, one of the listing agents on Team
yes,
DBA, super nice guy, really tall, kind of looks like Clark Kent, Superman kind of thing, right?
gotcha.
But has
Yeah,
this like really professional military kind of style about him.
yes,
Yeah, and you sent him to go meet with this lovely
yes.
this lovely lady.
But I have to shout him out because the odds of just the way that it happens very naturally, I happen to send him some of my most challenging clients. And that's why I had to give him a little shout out because he is such a trooper. Some of the things, some of the stories, you can get him over here. He can tell you. But
Okay.
I sent him over there to talk with her. And we follow up. How did everything go? How did you like Nathan and the information? She said, you thought sending him over here with brochures was going to impress me.
Oh,
I
wow.
should have I should have known that that's what she was going to say
Wow.
because she already kind of been kicking it to me all this time. But on this particular day, she told me that she recently broke 2 ribs and she was just kind of recovering from that. And of course, even though she's been this, character to me this entire time,
Adversary.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I still felt for that. I was just like, oh my gosh, like that has to be terrible. So I asked our director of first impressions, Carolyn, shout out to Carolyn.
Oh, Carolyn. Yeah,
Yes,
Carolyn's been on. Yeah.
to send her flowers, to let her know that we're
Okay.
thinking about her during
That's
her
awesome.
surgery. And it's clear that she doesn't want to do business with us, but we still want to do that because she's a part of our community. She's still a member
Exactly.
of our
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
So, sent her flowers, and when I finally talked to her, she said she thought it was a prank. Like she hasn't had anyone send her flowers. When she got the call, she just could not believe it. She said she was with her sister and she thought it was a prank. So,
That's
when she got the flowers,
hilarious.
it meant a lot to her.
I bet it did. I bet
Yeah.
it did. That's a, who else would do that?
Yeah.
You don't hear stories like that. And when you told that story, it's so much, and not to say that we're the greatest team ever, but we really do, you know, community is so important to our team.
Absolutely.
Yes, and that's one of the things I really love and appreciate about our team, and I know that's one of the things that you love about our team,
Of course.
and you put it into action, and that's
Yes.
awesome. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. I have a similar client like that too, where just before coming on the air here, uh, we were having a conversation. She bought with me and then bought and sold just recently, and how can I put this? She's challenging,
Got it.
right? She's challenging and questions anyone and everyone. And it's just a part of her nature to push back at every opportunity. And a lot of people, most, I shouldn't say most, a lot of people just don't know how to react and deal with that.
Hmm.
But I think and it comes from the training that I got from our team and the people around our team that she's just another member of our community. She's just a
Absolutely.
person who's dealing with circumstances,
Yes.
and this is her process. I may not agree with the process, but you know what? I'm not going to let that process, screw up my day, and I'm just going to work with it. I'm going to work with it. And I think those are the qualities that our team exposes, it puts out there and tries to really embrace.
Hmm.
And I think having a person like you as the client care coordinator continues to push that forward, and it really is important. Folks like you, Carolyn, that talk to people on a regular basis and really represent the team, I think we hit it out the ballpark by bringing you on,
Thank you. I
because
really appreciate that.
you're just killing it, girl. You really are. You really are. So, um, a little bit more about you. If I say OH,
IO, you
all
already
right, all
know.
right. I just had to
Come on now,
test.
I'm a Buckeye. I was born in Ohio. That's all I bleed, okay?
Do you ever see yourself going back?
No. I love Ohio. I do, but once you
When LeBron
move
left, you
out of
left.
your comfort zone and
Okay.
going back just seems like it's backwards. Like, of course,
Okay.
I love where I'm from. I love, I think the food is the best there than anyone else. Like, I have my
Okay.
biases, of
All
course,
right.
because it's where I'm from, but I just feel like I am the type of person, like I said, I like to move forward. I like to
I
grow.
hear you.
I
I hear
like
you.
change. I embrace change. And just that will be going back for me.
I had a friend that moved back, military acquaintance, and he moved back to the Ohio. I can't remember what area. I want to say it was outside of Cleveland,
Mhm.
but he said he bought a house, a 3-bedroom house, for like $45,000.
Yeah. He probably was in Youngstown or Canton or Akron, one of those areas. Absolutely. That's what
That's incredible.
I told my little sister. She was just telling me last year she had an all-inclusive one bedroom for 500 a month. I'm like, you're not gonna find that over this
Nowhere.
area.
No, well,
Yeah.
yeah. You start coming east, that number changes drastically.
Exactly.
Drastically. All right. So Ohio's loss is Nova's gain. And I know that you just recently moved to Nova.
Mhm.
How are you digging it? You like it?
I do. I really, really like it. I think I was just outgrowing the Virginia Beach area or something.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people really love it. I went to the beach like every day that I was off. Like, I really,
You
got to
embraced it?
explore. Exactly.
All right.
And I was just ready for change. So it was the perfect time for me to move here. And I really have enjoyed the time since I've been here.
It really is a neat community. I've had the opportunity to live in a lot of different places, San Francisco, uh, Florida, Las Vegas, grew up in New York. And the DC DMV area is really just awesome. It's good
Yeah.
people here. Yeah, you always have some challenges. The traffic is absolutely, I think, some of the worst I've ever seen. But but you know what? I'll take it for some of the other stuff. I don't. I get like emotional about DC. When I drive down and I see some of the Washington Monument, the Capitol building, some of the history, and
Lots
then
of
the
history.
the African American Museum, the Smithsonian,
Yes.
and it's just it's like, man, I'm living in America, and this is what
Yeah.
it's all about. This is the I'm living the dream. And I like when I hear that people are moving here, because I can talk to them about my experience, and I'm sure, I'm bringing this up because I'm sure that's what you do. I
Yeah.
can almost when you send me a lead, I know exactly the conversation you had with those people after like 3 seconds of talking to them. It's like I can hear your voice. I can hear how you're talking about, what you did and what you saw and where you go and things like that. And I'm sure you feel the same way that this is really a great place and you just love sharing with people your excitement of this
Of course.
community. Yeah, am I
And
right?
yeah, absolutely. And I tell people all the time when it comes to Debbie Dover Associates, I definitely drank the Kool-Aid from the very beginning and I talk about it so much because I haven't had a work environment like this. So I think that yes, there are some, natural parts of my personality as far as positivity, but I do believe that DDA gives everyone the space to really be themselves, and that just produces more success because you are comfortable. You are, I'm
Yeah,
very comfortable when I'm on the phone with people because
yeah,
I know that I can be myself and talk to them, and I'm not being filtered any type of way,
yeah,
which I've experienced in other, jobs. You would think that the positivity that you mentioned would be so embraced, but I've been told to tone down and pull
What?
back in the oh yeah. Even like the makeup thing, like I've had a lot of different
Are you serious?
yeah, about my personality and the way I carry myself and just being boxed. But since day one of being a part of DDA, it's been like, we love it. Like, we love
Exactly.
that you're loud. We love that you
Exactly. I mean,
smile.
you fit in perfect. You were like, yeah, you fit this team like a glove. You definitely embody everything that DDA tries to put out there to the public. And so
Absolutely.
and that's also evident by your social media. You have one of the coolest and most active
You
social
think
media.
so?
I love following you on social media. You put out some awesome pics. And then look, and I was thinking about this too with Nicole not being here. The IQ level of the podcast dropped dramatically and the maturity dropped dramatically, but you brought it back up again.
Okay, good.
Smile and your radiance, got us back to where we should be.
Okay.
And yeah, it's you bring it, and you've got something special that a lot of people don't have, and
Oh,
it is great that DDA that we found you, you found us, and it's hard in this economy to find people, right, and find good employees, good teammates. I don't like to say
yeah,
employees. I think everybody we are a team.
of course.
And everybody, kind of feeds off of everybody else. And it's so hard to find people that um just have that thing. And I know that sounds ridiculous. Have that thing. What is it? Well, if you know what it is, then you know what it is. And we were so lucky to find you and to hold on to you, because unfortunately what happens too is when you find people who are special, they often feel like they grow out of their position and they want to move on, and you know so be it. Yeah, if you can do better someplace else, I always wish people well, but I think you and I are a little bit alike in the regard that I like being a member of a team that's doing something special, you
Of
know?
course.
Yeah, and not so much be a role player, but feel like they listen to my decision, my what I want to say,
Yes.
and they respect what I want to say, and I can tell when you speak in our meetings, when you contribute, when you post on social media, that you are thinking about the team and
Yes.
about
Thank
our
you.
internal environment as well. I mean, does that sound like I'm saying something real?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I know what you mean, and it's true. I definitely love being a part of the voice on our team and the fact that they allow that because I do have opinions. I am a
Yes,
opinionated
you do.
person and I do feel also very comfortable to be able to speak up if there is an idea. I'm a big ideas person and I think that a lot of leadership see that and
Yeah.
they allow me to collaborate on things because they do value my opinion. They may not use everything because sometimes even my own opinions can be off the wall, but they will entertain it. They'll take the time to listen, which I
Yeah.
appreciate, and of course that is valued. And I do want to say that even in like the client care role, there's like the client care and then lead. So sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, okay, that's where you can grow. But
Yeah.
DDA does so many things that you can really be a part of various parts of the company. So you don't really
Yeah.
feel like you've hit your cap.
Yeah.
I've obviously collaborated with marketing. I've, tried to be a part of DDA love in any type of capacity I can be
Mhm.
in. And I've really tried to participate and show up to the events. And there's so much to be a part of, is what I'm saying. So you're not like, okay, this is it. There's
Well,
opportunity.
not to put you on the spot, but I'm writing this down because
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna I'm gonna keep track of your response here. But where are you in 5 years? what's Crystal doing in 5 years? Where has your career taken you, and what do you do? Are you running DDA? Are you owning DDA?
I would say in 5 years, I'm definitely going to be successful somewhere to the top because
All
I'm
right.
just a very ambitious person, and I feel like
Yes.
every year you should be doing something new, something different,
Yeah.
some sort of level up. But at the same time, I'm not a huge planner like I used to be back in the day. I used to plan every single part of my life. And as you mature, you understand that life just doesn't operate that way. So you have to be open and willing to roll with it,
Yeah.
because you can really think this is the path I want to be, and then you get an opportunity that you weren't expecting, and it's just perfect. So now your whole life is upside down, and in a good way.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, it
yeah,
can
I
be.
do feel like because I'm a hard worker and I'm very proud of that, I think I'll be successful somewhere, but I'm gonna be wherever the universe takes me.
Well, yeah, and I totally agree with that, and yeah, I think you are going to be successful wherever you go, as evidenced by every year. I think you've added to your responsibility with the team. Yeah,
For sure.
every year something new. And I'm sure that even before the end of this quarter or at the start of the next quarter, there will be something even newer for you and
Yes.
more opportunity.
Yes, I just signed up for more responsibility if
Good
I
for
get
you,
it.
girl.
So we'll see.
Good for you. How do you like the training aspect of your job?
So the training was actually so interesting when I first came on board.
Okay.
And it was actually my first lesson of how open DDA was because I had a lot of questions and I came from a different background. And
Yeah.
even though I came with property management experience, I was just kind of like, I'm brand spanking new and I know better than to think that I know everything.
Okay.
So I had a lot of questions. And some things I'm like, wait, where's the how do I do this? I learned a lot of things the hard way, and it's just because I was green, brand spanking new. So I had a lot of feedback about the training for the client care program,
Okay.
but our sales manager Trish, shout out to
Shout
Trish,
out Trish on maternity leave.
yes,
We miss you,
was
Trish. All right.
so open
Yeah.
to just hearing me out about ways that we can improve it and really let me actually implement a lot of the suggestions that I had. So I think our training today is really great. Our
Yeah.
last new client care coordinator was able to hit the ground in about 2 weeks. And
Wow.
that came from like a 4 week training, like a 3 to 4 week training. So and even with that, we are always available. There's so many resources, there's so many people willing to help along the way. Not even just me, like even the agents, our ISAs are able to reach out and get a lot of information. When I first started, I got advice from you, Eric. I got advice from Carla Harrison. I mean, so many wonderful agents on our team. Even if I had a conversation about a client, they would say, "Hey, I noticed this, try that." So I think the training is amazing.
Yeah, and that was one thing I noticed about you too early on is that you were receptive to the feedback. Yeah,
Yes,
there wasn't a lot of pushback, and I think you understood that the feedback was coming from a place of like just
for
education.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. But now
I
you
am
are,
all about that.
yeah, and now, but you are in that trainer role
Yes,
as opposed to the trainee.
correct.
And how do you like that portion of it? How do you like being the trainer?
I love it because I get to see the beginning where there's challenges and the improvement along the way.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not going to say that it's always fun because
Yeah.
any there's going to be challenges when it comes to training
No.
on all ends.
Everybody always listens. No, stop it. It's all easy. There's no
So I'm
challenge.
not going to sound too, cookie cutter about it. There's challenges in growth
Yeah.
any. You know what I mean? I know I sound like I have all these cliches, but it really is just that's what it is. But our team is doing amazing. We have a brand new green agent. Her name is Erica. Shout out to Erica. I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
shouting everybody
I
out.
know. You just shout them all out. Come on, list them up. Go on, girl.
But she came from an entire different world. She wasn't a part of property management or real estate or anything like that. And there's just been continuous growth and training and opportunities to grow. And she's kicking butt. I mean, she has like the most clients, I think, this month. So she appointments set. So
Really?
yeah, they do a really good job at just improving in those areas. So
I gotta check my list of leads from Erica.
yeah. I mean, we're doing
I'm
really
just
good.
kidding.
We're
No,
doing
no,
really
you
good.
guys are killing it. You are absolutely killing it.
I love to brag on our team.
Well, awesome, and you should, because your team is doing a great job. I just I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to share what you do, and share what the process is and what the position is. Because for so many people, yeah, they hear these terms ISA, and they have no idea what that means. And hopefully, both of our listeners are smarter now. You are. I would love to tell you that you're going to go viral after this, but the chances of that happening, pretty slim.
You never know. You never know. This might be the video.
You might make us viral. If anyone could do it, it would be you. Please post it all over all your stuff, all your instas and all that. Man, I sound like an old man.
Yeah.
I know. I said, what did I say so far? I said fleek.
Fleet got to go. You got to retire that one. What I tell my friends is throw it in the basket and leave it there.
You and Mr. Producer are both like totally disgusted with me, which I can appreciate. That's awesome. No, Crystal Davis, you are a joy. I am so sad that Nicole wasn't here to be a part of this fantastic conversation. She would have absolutely enjoyed it, and actually probably would have had some real intelligent questions to ask you. But thank you so much for everything, and to our listeners that are here, if you like these conversations, if you love to meet people like Crystal, please like and subscribe. If there ever was an episode to give 5 stars to, it would be this one. So please, right? Give it 5 stars, and give a comment too. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about Crystal here, and I'm sure Crystal will even reply. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking along all the way through to the end of this. Crystal, bless you. Thank you for making this a much more beautiful podcast than it would have been without Nicole here. So you are a wonderful lady, and we'll have you back anytime. So remember, come back next time for more Real Agents of Fun, Real Agents of ISAs, and Real Agents of Real Estate. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.